you devotees. So we're reading asamsayam maha-baho. We have to read that shloka, I think, right? Asamsayam maha-baho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena kaunteya vairagyena grhyate. So it's a nice shloka because whatever is true for Ashtanga Yoga, chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridham. It is very pramati. If you tell the mind, for instance, say you're going to tell your mind, do not look at the phone screen for next 1 minute. What does the mind think of for the next 1 minute? When can I look back? Correct? When can I look at the phone screen again? Because the mind is pramati. Pramati means it is like a monkey. It is very obstinate. Means it will not agree. And the mind is like a spoiled brat child. It will never agree to something. And it will do exactly what we tell it to do. Opposite, exactly whatever we are asking, opposite only it wants to do. So that is why it is called pramati. And it is balavat. It is like a child who is very strong. You can't beat this child also. It's balavat. And it is very obstinate also. It is very dridham. So these three things are very dangerous. It is pramati, it is mad, right? Agitating. And then balavat is very strong. It is also dridham. It is also very obstinate. You can't change it. So it is very difficult to control and it is very obstinate. Dridham. Tasyaham nigraham. I cannot do this. To do this nigraham of this entity, ask me to win over emperors in this battle of Kurukshetra, ask me to conquer Kauravas. But tasyaham nigraham anye vayuriva sudushkaram. Even to control the wind will be easy, but to defeat the mind is vayuhu iva sudushkaram. It is dushkaram, sudushkaram. It is very difficult task, sudushkaram. Vayuhu iva sudushkaram. Tasyaham nigraham anye vayuhu iva sudushkaram. So please help me understand. Vayoho iva sudushkaram. How do we make progress? How do I make progress? Now, Krishna's response was asamsayam. Krishna is not negating what Arjuna is proposing. Krishna is telling badam. Yes, asamsayam. You are right. That is the part of design. Correct? Mind is, when it is associated with the sense objects, it will naturally be agitating. Asamsayam maha-baho. The nature of a person's mind in this material world is asamsayam. Yes. Mano durnigraham chalam. Yes. Mano is durnigraham only. To control the mind is very difficult and it is chalam. Chalam means it will easily go away. Chalayati. It runs away. Right? This is the nature of the mind. No one cannot say this is the nature of the mind because there are people who are in other lokas who are able to control the mind. So you can't say Krishna is not saying this is the nature of the mind itself. Krishna is saying that this is the nature of the mind of a person who's in Bhuloka, on this earthly planet. Because by the mind by nature, actually, if you go, I have told this many times. Do you know how is the mind created? Does anyone know how is the mind created? From which part? Does anyone remember? The mind is created during the creation process. Where does the mind fit? From the ahankara tattva. From association of the false ego in the mode of goodness. Okay. From association of false ego in the mode of passion, there was there was the senses, and from the association of the false ego in the mode of ignorance, the sense objects were one. So senses in the mode of passion, senses in the mode of ignorance, sense objects in the mode of ignorance. So the point is, when the mind is actually not meant to be in the mode of passion. That is why the mind's agitation is something the mind does not like. Do you see what I'm saying? The indriyas are happy with this agitation because indriya's nature is to get agitated. But the mind's nature is not get agitated. That's why the mind is seeking peace. Why does the mind seek peace? Because the mind's nature is to be peaceful. Because the mind is born of the association of the false ego in the mode of goodness. It comes from sattvic ahankaram. Okay? So sattvic ahankaram, rajas ahankaram, tamas ahankaram. Everyone has heard about this, right? I've told this many times, or is this the first time everyone is hearing? How does the mind, intelligence, and sense objects are getting created? How many of you is the first time you're hearing?
This is the first time.
You've said it before, Prabhuji, but I was not able to recall it.
That's fine. I'm just trying to see how many of you this is news. One another reason I'm asking is so you remember. Why is Prabhu making a fuss out of it? So then you'll remember, okay. For how many of you others is it like something first, like you're just hearing for the first time?
Prabhuji, in Bhagavatam, they mention how each part of the body was created.
Right. Second
So,
canto talks
yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read it, Prabhu, but I totally forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason mind is seeking peace is because the mind's nature is to be peaceful, actually. So the yogis usually meditate on the form of uh, Aniruddha. Aniruddha is there are 4 incarnations, 4 Chaturvyuhas. Does anyone know what was the Chaturvyuhas? Who knows who are the Chaturvyuhas, expansions of the Lord?
Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Sankarshana.
Exactly. Superb. Thank you, Mataji. So Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Does anyone know what are there? Who are the like? They are the predominant deities of which one as a predominating deities of what?
Aniruddha is our mind.
Yeah, very nice. Yes. Hariharan Prabhu, you want to go?
Vasudeva is for the consciousness. Vasudeva, Sankarshana is false ego, Pradyumna intelligence, and Aniruddha is mind.
Yes. Yeah, so each of these Chaturvyuhas are predominant deities of each one of these entities. So the mind's nature is to actually focus on, meditate on Aniruddha form. Aniruddha form is more or less like you see Chaturbhuja, he has 4-handed. But again, like where Aniruddha holds the conch disc and the Shankachakra Gada Padma changes actually. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is the mind's agitation about being agitated. It's interesting, right? So that's what I wanted to highlight. Now, Krishna is saying, yes, absolutely. You are agitated by your agitation and it's very difficult to curb it. Durnigraham chalam. Yes, but you have to do abhyasam. What is that abhyasam? We have to beg Krishna. We have to fall at his lotus feet. We have to fall at um, the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. In this way, we have to, by the process of humility at the lotus feet of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnava. This is our abhyasa. There are different types of abhyasa, jnana yoga abhyasa, ashtanga yoga abhyasa. Different abhyasas are there. But for a devotee's abhyasa is that he has to fall, pranipat, nipat. Right? He has to fall down. So by falling down, we won't fall down in this material world. But if you are hesitating to bow down to Krishna, Hari, Guru, Vaishnava, immediately fall down, Dandavat, then we will fall down in this material world, 100%. So this is the process actually. So if you do this abhyasa, tivrena bhakti yogena yacheta purusham param. If you do this tivra abhyasa, then immediately, just like the coconut when it gets ripe, the coconut meat will be separated from the coconut shell, is it not? Similarly, when we do tivrena bhakti yogena yacheta purusham param, apakamo sarvakamava mokshakamava udaradihi. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. If you do tivra bhakti yoga, then the coconut shell will come from the coconut meat separately. Then if you shake the coconut, then it will be taka 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 taka, there will be sound. And similarly, you will be able to see yourself separate from everything that you are surrounded by. This is called vairagyam. Vairagya means you understand that I only have Krishna's shelter. I don't possess anything else in this world except the 2 lotus feet of Padamboruhudvaya. Govinda Padamboruhudvaya. Pada Ambaruhu. Ambaruhu means lotus. Govinda Padamboruhudvaya. Only the two lotus feet of the Lord is my only possession. Aho me mahati yata nishvala anaradhita Govinda charana boruhudvaya. I have not worshipped this anaradhita. I have not done aradhanam of this Govinda charanam. But instead of offering lotus, my pranams at the Govinda Charanam, I have served this material world. I have nothing to do with anything here. All my work in this material world is actually, I have nothing to do with it. This separation will come. We were talking about this yesterday, right? So this separateness has to come. This is Vairagya. Now we are identifying with the circumstances, the relatives, the everything, the work, the money, the bank account, the profit and loss. We're identifying with it because I feel I belong here. As long as we think we belong here, the mind cannot be controlled. That's what Krishna is saying. So if you do this abhyasa yoga yuktena, chetasa nanya Krishna also mentions. So abhyasa means practice. What to practice? Practice is humility. Practicing many things, different forms of yoga, practice is very difficult. But practicing this humility, falling down, bowing down at the lotus feet of Hari, Guru and Vaishnava is very simple. If we do this tivrena bhakti yogena, if we do this tivrata, then what happens? Vairagya will naturally happen. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam. Janayati Ashu. Very soon, Janayati, it will be born. Kim Janayati? Vairagyam Janayati. Right? So, if you do this, Vairagyam is the younger child of Bhakti. The child of Bhakti. The elder child of Bhakti is Jnana. Younger child of Bhakti is Vairagya. So, when Bhakti is born, Bhakti will give rise to Jnana and Vairagya. And Vairagya is not possible without Jnana. Jnana of what? I have nothing to do with anything here. When this Jnana comes, Vairagya will come automatically. And we cannot be renounced if you think you have something to do here. You can't have Vairagya. But when there's knowledge coming, yes, I have nothing to do with this. Who am I? Why am I working so hard here? Kashtan kaman. Na arghate vidbujam ye tapo divyam putrakaha yena sattvam shuddhyet brahma saukhyam tu anantam. So this jnanam is pradhanyam. This is the first. But before this jnanam comes also, first one, there must be bhakti. There must be vasudeva anugraham ragadesha muktaihi tu vatigan indrihi charan atma vashir vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. So when there is prasadam of the Lord only, there is the understanding that I have nothing to do with this world. And only when you have understood that you have nothing to do with this world, you will go to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. And only when you go to the lotus feet of the spiritual master, you will understand what is Krishna. And when you understand Krishna, you will cultivate love for him. So without the mercy of the spiritual master, there will not be detachment from this raga dvesham of this material world. Krishna mentions this, right? And that is the point of going to the spiritual master. Okay. I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranams.
Yes.
Prabhuji, quick question on Vairagya.
Mm-hmm.
Can Vairagya happen, or does Vairagya have types? When a sadhaka didn't get full bhakti and prema, but have lot of, what do we say? Unless Vairagya.
Is it possible to have Vairagya without bhakti? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Prabhuji. Or does it called an impersonalist Vairagya kind of?
See, Vairagya, word Vairagya comes from the word no ragam. So the highest form of Vairagya is to not even have attachment for Vairagya. Right? So Vairagya will come as a consequence of Jnana. Now, if we have Jnana, then automatically we have to think about Krishna. So there will be excitement, there will be enthusiasm. So we must ask oneself, am I being enthusiastic every moment? Or what am I thinking? Like, let's put it this way, to put it very simple as an answer to your question. What am I thinking every moment? Very simple. If you go back to this point, litmus test, what am I thinking every moment? If I'm thinking about anything other than Krishna, then whatever I am thinking about very deeply with emotion, with enthusiasm, with intention, with fear, that thing I have attachment to. Okay? It could be maintaining a social status or status quo or whatever it is. Whatever I'm thinking is where I feel this has to be mine. Okay? So yeah, that shows my mamakaram. Because whatever my mamakaram is, that definitely I have to think about. 100% I have to think about. So that mamakaram has gone, ahankaram has gone, then definitely there will be Govinda Charanamburhudvaya. There will be thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord. So there cannot be a situation where there is Vairagya, but there is no bhakti. The impersonalist Vairagya also has that, but the impersonalist also thinks of Krishna indirectly in the form of his impersonal Brahman. He doesn't think of Krishna's personal form, but he thinks he's meditating on the impersonal form of Krishna. So there also he's finding Brahma Sukham. Okay. So he's not thinking about anything else. Kinchidapi na chintayet. He doesn't think of anything else. He's thinking about the Brahma Vastu. But the devotees of the Lord are thinking about the Bhagavad Vastu. Okay. But the thing is that a common thing between both of them is that they are not thinking about anything material. Okay. Both of them are spiritual, but one of them is little better situated than the other. Okay.
Haribol, Prabhuji. Haribol. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.